Hi everyone, it's Russ with the Mortlock Real Estate Group, and in this video, I'm going to share exactly why right now is the perfect time to buy real estate and why you should stop trying to time the market. Today on the Real Estate Recappuccino, I'm joined with Jennifer. She is a big time real estate investor and she's going to share some things that's going on with the current market. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Jen, the question we get asked all the time, what is the market doing right now and where do you think it's going to go in the future?
Well, right now, Russ, we are seeing a lot of activity in the market and not activity where we'd like to see it. We're seeing very few listings come to the MLS or come to market. And so it is creating a situation where buyers are once again fighting over properties. There's multiple offers and a lot of offers are coming in unconditional. So it makes it very tough for buyers to get into the market.
So with this hot real estate market right now, do you think we've set new benchmark prices for what homes are going to go for in the future?
I do. I really do, especially in the Kelowna and Okanagan markets. Consistently now for a couple of months, we're seeing over $1 million average sale price for a single family home. And condos are starting to creep up too, even with the brand new projects that we don't see listed on MLS, the newer buildings that are sold, directly through the developer. Even still, we're seeing on MLS strata properties continue to rise in price. And I think that each area is sort of getting its own stamp of, like Rutland, we're going to see nothing under 600 there again, unless it's strata, right? But for single family, you're not going to see something under 600 unless it's a duplex or strata.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And just to kind of elaborate on that, we've seen that where I know a lot of people have this perspective that they want to time the market. They want to sit on the sidelines and wait until things drop. But yeah, we've definitely set new benchmark prices in every one of those areas. Like you alluded to, a home in Rutland under 600K is not going to exist anymore. We've just set that new benchmark. And for people that are kind of sitting, waiting around for it to go down, I can't see it dropping. This is the way kind of the economy goes.
I totally agree with you, Russ. Sometimes it's that people want to time the market and they think that the market is going to drop drastically. We're going to have a crash. Or they're trying to save more money. They want to save another $10,000. But trying to time the market, even if the market dropped, I think you have a really good example that you use with the numbers of what that means to a person.
Yeah, so exactly what Jen was saying there. So a good perspective in how interest rates work is if interest rates usually go up 1%, you see about a 10% deduction in home prices. So say you wait those 3 years, interest rates have now risen 1%, and the value of a home has gone down 10. The reality is, with that current highest interest rate, your mortgage is still going to be more than if you bought it for 10% more today. And you've lost out on time and opportunity. And for a lot of people who their home is their single best resource to build wealth, you need to have that time in that home in order to generate that, to get that going for your family. So if you sit on the sidelines, wait 3 years, and it's still going to cost you the same amount, but you've lost out on 3 years of equity building in that home, that is going to allow you and your family to do what they want in the future.
Yeah, I like the saying that's out there. The best time to buy a house was 10 years ago. The second best time is today.
And yeah, and a lot of people say woulda, coulda, shoulda, like back in my parents' time and your parents' time. Oh, if you would have bought a house back then, look at what it's done for them. Well, that's in the past. There's nothing that we can do to go back there. I certainly don't have a time machine. I haven't heard of one working for us to go back and change things and redo the woulda, coulda, shoulda. But like you said, all I know is what's going on today and what the future looks. So if you can get into it now, start learning, start figuring out the real estate market, it's just going to help you in the future. And who's to say in 20 years, you can't have the same amount of appreciation or the same amount of wealth generate from real estate, just like our parents.
And even I'm seeing now, just recently had 2 clients that are just friends buying a house together because they know that they can't even get into a strata on their own, partnering together and getting into the market. That is so key. And I think that with the way that prices are going, more and more of the millennials are going to need to do that.
So, Jen, in this hot real estate market, what are you doing to have your clients win, and how are you going about dealing with offers?
Well, I have a little bit of a secret sauce that you have to actually talk to me about. But there are some things that I think every real estate agent is recommending that their buyers do to get their offer noticed, amongst others. So, one of those things is talking to your mortgage broker about being fully approved and knowing that you're confident in the approval, despite what the house might appraise at. Obviously, there's some within reason stuff. But then also do an inspection ahead of time before the offers are presented. So what we're typically seeing right now is properties being listed throughout the week and then accepting offers the next week. And that actually gives you time. If your real estate agent is sending you listed properties the day they hit the market and you can get out there and see it, that gives you 3 to 5 days to get your inspector into that home and have that inspection done. So that's one less condition that you need to have on the offer.
So, with Jen here, she is an amazing real estate investor, has a ton of experience doing it a few different ways. And so, in the current market right now, what's the best strategy that you use in order to still invest into real estate during a hot market?
Well, I really like the Airbnb strategy right now, especially here in the Okanagan. Even during COVID times, if you have a great setup where it's private and families don't have to go out to other businesses and stuff, maybe there's a swimming pool for them to use that they don't have to share if they were at a hotel, that kind of thing. But really, Russ, any of the investment strategies here, flips are still, you're still able to make money on flips right now. The deals are few and far between, but they are still very, very possible. Also, landlording, owning a property for long-term rental. We have such a low vacancy rate everywhere between Vernon and Penticton that you can't go wrong in that strategy. But really, my tip to people is jump in, get going. Don't be frozen by fear. Take some action. Start taking, just one step a day to finding that property, and know your numbers. Grab a calculator, an investing calculator. There's one for every different strategy, and I'm sure, Russ, you've got access to all of those. You can supply to clients, but yeah, just take action.
And that's like the biggest thing too about real estate investing is we go through this analysis paralysis where you're just looking at all these deals, you're doing all this learning, you're subscribing to this person on YouTube, you're reading this book, when really the best knowledge I've ever acquired when investing in real estate is just doing it. Yeah. So don't get me wrong, I made mistakes when I bought my first couple properties on things that I would change and do differently now. But I got that education from just doing it. The numbers made sense. I had my criteria that I was looking for, purchased that property, and yeah, like there's things I would do differently with my mortgage to how you set up tenants and every one of those processes. But it's learning as you go. That's just the evolution of any business, and you just got to get started today.
Absolutely.
All right, Jen. So with being a realtor too here, why did you decide to go with Exp Realty?
Joining Exp Realty versus the other brokerages was a no-brainer for me. At first, it was all about mentorship, and then it was about the differences in how they're set up and how their pay structure is. But for me, the mentorship at Exp is beyond anything you will find at any other brokerage. It was actually life coach Darren Jacklin who referred me to a EXPer, Phil Hahn. And when Darren told me about Phil's background and that he had been paid $20 million in commissions in 20 years, I knew that's where I needed to connect my career.
Mm-hmm. And that's a big misconception about the model and how it's all set up is how it actually works is an objection we always get is mentorship. Like, what type of training do you guys have? You're a cloud-based brokerage. You guys don't got any offices for people to come to or for your agents to train at. But that's just actually probably the best part that I've found about EXP is it's such a good community of tight realtors. Like, we have online platforms that if you have a question, you can reach out to any one of the 8 brokers we have in BC to find that information. like a normal brokerage, you maybe only have one or two people that you can go to, and they might not be available. Where here at our platform, they have designated shifts that they have to work and always be available. So you always have someone to reach. And just like you said, I know I connected with Phil Hahn before I started my career as a realtor. And it's amazing the amount of training that he offers. He personally does role playing classes on every Thursday there, and they're just so awesome to hear him talk because it it's just amazing. I know when I first was doing my calls and you're doing all that stuff, someone would hit me with an objection. I'm like, oh,
Thursday.
yeah, what do I say? You hop on a couple of those Thursday role playings with Phil, and he will show you exactly how to navigate through what people say and his strategies that he used to, yeah, make $1 million in commission every year for 20 years. It's insane.
Yeah. And not just that, our online virtual world is pretty awesome in itself. You can, drive a jet boat, but also there's so many classes available at my leisure.
Mhm.
So when I'm ready to take some training, there's, social media marketing, there's how to build a team, there's how to farm areas, there's, how to sell luxury properties. And in any given day, there's 10 to 20 classes that are available that I can just hop on.
Yeah, no, that the online platform that's set up for our training is amazing. It's world class, and I know being new agents too, it's really helped me build up my business and strategies because you're able to connect with people all around the world that they do to be successful. And what better to learn from people that have already kind of done it and been there and done that. So
Yeah. And let's talk about why they do it. What's in it for them? And that's the difference between EXP and other brokerages is at other brokerages, there isn't anything in it for them.
Mhm.
But EXP is really modeled somewhat like WestJet. We are owners of the company. We're all shareholders. So when another agent is being successful, the shares are going to go up. The stocks are going to go up, and that's going to benefit me as an owner. So there's always that benefit for both parties to help each other win.
yeah, you're exactly right. That community environment, just because we all are owners in the company, makes it so exciting to see actually how our future is going and how we're growing, how much our revenue goes up each and every quarter. When you're at your other brokerage, it doesn't matter what they do. It only matters what you do and what you have to offer. So that whole collaboration, that whole community environment is just set up with how our system works and how the model is driven to increase business for everyone around us, and we all benefit.
Yeah.
Not just the guy at the top.
It really is agent oriented.
Yeah. Jen, thank you very much for joining the Recappuccino. It was great just to hear your insight on what the real estate market's doing, and you have such a great background in investing. It was awesome having you on.
Thank you for having me.